Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about a great topic that I don't see a lot of information out there on. I am a part of a couple of apps that I do use just for women's health and for trying to conceive. That is Flow and Prima. And so I thought it would be great to talk about what I did when trying to conceive for our second. We knew we wanted our kids close together. Well, we always said we wanted a second, and then we were just gonna wait to see how we felt in the moment. And after a few months with our first, we said like, yeah, we're feeling great. Like, let's go ahead and like try to see what can happen with our future. And so I started doing research and trying to piece together, what is it that I can do to help my body be ready and prepared for another pregnancy? And I was breastfeeding full time. I was also pumping a little bit to help build up a freezer stash, just to have some, just in case, depending on timeline and how things would work out for us when trying to conceive for our second. And I couldn't find a lot of information out there. Everything I read was not what I was looking for. I guess that's the better way to put it. The information I did find and the educational videos I did listen to all revolved around stopping breastfeeding, decreasing the amount you're breastfeeding, no longer pumping. And I still wanted breastfeeding. That was my main goal, my main focus, is that I did not want to miss out. I did not want to change what we currently had going really, really well for us, and what I wanted in my relationship with my baby. And so the information I was finding basically just went back to, you need to stop breastfeeding, you need to decrease the amount you're breastfeeding, or the timing of from one breastfeeding session to the other, and trying to get a minimum 6 hour gap can sometimes help start things. But in general, it can take women to stop breastfeeding to get their cycle back. So that was just really not an option. I started looking at the Flow app and trying to look into some of those conversations and what other women have experienced. I started looking into the Premon app and also trying to find any other women who are going through the same thing and what they did, YouTube, and I came across this one woman in particular who shared this article about eating more calories, and I'll find the link and I can add it below in the description. But actually, let me take a step back before going down that rabbit hole. Let me just start with what I did when trying to conceive for our second, because there were a few things. There was a little bit of a progression that my husband and I, each month we would kind of talk, hey, what should we try this month to try to change things up and get my body ready. So I'll start with that progression, and I don't remember the exact timeline, but I'll talk about the progression and the things that I did or implemented to help with my journey while trying to conceive. So initially, when we felt ready and we were trying, initially I was only doing LH strips. I would do them once a day because at this point there was no period, there's nothing to go on. It's like, great, let's just get a baseline. Let's just start using the LH strips, taking that test daily. After a month or so, there's no real change, nothing really distinctive going on. So decided to add in temping, basal body temperature. So added that in while also doing the LH strips, and after a month or so, not really a difference. This whole time I've continued taking my prenatals, which really prenatals, it was a multivitamin where I was taking 2. That's what I did during pregnancy. That's what I continued doing throughout postpartum. So I was just taking those 2. I read a lot, saw a lot of women trying Geritol, so I had a bottle of that and tried try that out to see if it would make a difference for me. And at that point, I think our son got to around that 6 month mark is where we then decided to go ahead and see what we could do with getting a gap at night where I wasn't breastfeeding or pumping, and trying to just get a minimum of 6, 7, or 8 hours between nursing sessions. So we were able to do a very slow progression. I could do probably a whole video on that as well, but just doing a slow progression, I knew I didn't want to do like any kind of night weaning or sleep training. Wasn't really our vibe. We did what felt best to us. I think it was probably bits and pieces from things. So that worked really well for us in regards to like the slow progression and getting him to sleep 6, 7, 8 hours straight without nursing. Really smooth process for us actually, which was wonderful. So did that. Was continuing the LH strips, was continuing the basal body temperature, and then also started adding in increasing the amount of calories I was eating on a daily basis. So just really, like, before I was hungry, just trying to eat constantly and just trying to really increase my calories and having, just not unhealthy food, but just eating more. It's the, oh, am I still hungry? Well, I might not be, but I'm going to eat this anyways. Just trying to really increase things as much as possible where I could. And I saw, finally, with the mixture of all these things along the way, did see an LH spike. But knowing what I know now, we thought that was a spike. It wasn't. If you're familiar with the Pre-Mom app, you can scan your strips. It was like 0.88, so not quite what you're looking for with an LH strips, where you want the control line and the test line to be as dark as each other. If not, you want that control line to be darker than the test line. But the fact that, like, I saw that huge spike was super promising and great. So knew that something was working in our favor for my body to start working on getting that cycle back. So we thought that was an LH spike, which meant ovulation was going to be coming. But days passed, nothing, no period. But the temperatures also didn't line up. Where, again, anyone out there who knows temping knows, if you're doing temping while breastfeeding, it is not going to be accurate. I understand that. I just wanted another data point, something else to look at. So don't come at me. That's just what worked best for me and what we were going through and what I thought was going to be most beneficial. So came and went, continued with the extra eating, the LH strips, basal body temperature, having our son sleep the 6, 7, 8 hours without me nursing, and then got like a true spike. It was like, it jumped to like 1.5, and we were both super excited. Like, again, my body's working, it's figuring itself out. However, like, I don't know, 3 days later, then got my period. So I was like, oh, we got all excited, and then got my period super early. So we're like, but this is great. Like, we're getting progress. Let's keep going down this path. Let's keep trying this. And so after that, continued with everything. From that cycle to the next time I had an LH spike, was like 45 days. And I know your cycle can be really wonky when you're nursing, but that's just like timeline how it worked for us. It was 45 days between those. So again, we were super fortunate, and then we actually conceived on that cycle, which is bonkers and crazy, but like, things worked and clicked. And I really think it comes back to eating the more calories, and really increasing and staying on top of that consistently. Again, not the most ideal, not the most sustainable either, but I will share, there was an article that another woman shared, and I will add that in the description of this video, where you're basically just trying to not trick your body. You're sending signals to your body to say, I am ready. I have enough calories. I'm not starving. Like, I have enough energy coming in to allow my body to start the cycle again, that it is safe to go ahead to potentially have and sustain another pregnancy, that I am healthy, I have enough energy coming in. And so really, I think increasing those calories was super, super helpful, and really beneficial. So thank you for listening. I hope this helps someone out there. Again, I'll drop that in the description, that article. I felt like that was the thing that helped the most for me, and what we experienced with trying to grow our family. If you want any more details, anything specifically, let me know. I would love to share and help anyone. It's crazy the journey you go on when you're trying to conceive and growing your family, your close friends. Really, like, no topic is off limit. Everything becomes an open door. So would love to share with you guys my experiences, if this is helping. Just hearing my story, and what I went through, I would love to continue sharing. Just let me know. Love you guys. Thank you for listening, and we will talk again soon.